Welcome to the Puma Base channel. Today, I want to share with you a reaction and analysis of Hanni's vocal technique from NewJeans. She will be performing Olivia Wilde's piece called Dive, and I'm someone who follows NewJeans closely. I've watched all the covers they've done. They actually share a common issue found in most HYBE groups: vocal techniques that haven't been prioritized. So, I'm going to explore this a bit with you in this reaction and explain it in more detail. But she has a voice with an interesting tone that still has room for improvement. And now, with all these changes in their management and new directions, we might see a shift in their vocal techniques. So let's react to her performance now.
It isn't working. I'm a tidal wave of question marks and you're the surfing, leaning into me like it's an art. It's so crazy lately. You just understand my feelings, make me see I'm capable and fine.
Hanni has a tone that, visually speaking, could be described as bright and slightly metallic, though it still feels rounded. To elaborate, we have registers where our resonance passes through. Hanni often transitions from head voice to chest voice. Her transitions aren't very smooth yet. She also hits notes that, especially in longer ones, she tends not to use much vibrato. Sometimes her vibrato lacks quality and doesn't feel natural. It's still very throat-based and doesn't show much variation in volume. This suggests her technique needs further development. As I mentioned in my previous video about Chaewon, they still require significant technical growth, but her voice shows a lot of potential.
Tonight, I'm ready to dive. Maybe it's the loving in your eye I'm piercing through. Maybe it's the magic in the wine I'm feeling loose. Maybe it's the fact that every time I fall, I lose it all. But you got me from my head to my feet. I'm ready to dive.
Like most K-pop singers, those who aren't the main vocalists in their groups can still use vocal fry to transition into a note. This is a skill they all master. It's an easy embellishment to add. It allows for variation. However, her transitions between resonance regions and registers still aren't very smooth. She also lacks variation in volume. So, her voice, technically speaking, is still a bit dry. But, definitely, it's not her fault. This is the result of the direction HYBE gives to its groups, unfortunately. So I believe now that, with this company change, things will improve. But I also hope that HYBE changes this pattern with other singers, because the reality is that this voice here, her voice, has a very pleasant tone. It's really beautiful, with this brighter characteristic and great potential.
What is wrong with nothing wrong, it's alright, yeah. I'm coming in, I'm diving in tonight, I feel like it's crazy lately. You just understand my feelings, make me see.
She transitions from her head voice to a region closer to her chest voice. In this closer range, she manages some delicacy, without us noticing the shift from one to the other. But you can tell it's not entirely intentional yet. Still, she does well. Her head voice and falsettos, when she uses them, are good. They're good, but she doesn't have full mastery yet, and she still can't extract all the richness that these techniques can offer. For her,
tonight. I'm ready to dive. Maybe it's the loving in your eyes I'm piercing through. Maybe it's the magic in the wine I'm feeling loose. Maybe it's the fact that every time I fall, I lose it all. But you've got me from the head.
she could add a bit more volume variation. Maybe a vibrato at the beginning, a vibrato at the end, a note with a bit more volume variation. This is definitely not a criticism of her. It's a voice that hasn't been technically developed yet, and that's on the company. It can't be helped. But it's a voice that is rich in terms of tone. And with the right technique, it will be a huge voice in K-pop, which it already is, right?
I'm ready to dive. Wanna swim, girl, wanna swim deep. I'm diving into you, diving into me. Wanna swim, girl, wanna swim deep. I'm diving into you, diving into me. Wanna swim, girl, wanna swim deeper. Maybe it's the loving in your eyes I'm here, see through. Maybe it's the magic in the wine I'm feeling.
The voice is still quite nasal, too. Very focused in the nose. She keeps the microphone very close. Her voice still lacks volume, too. Probably, if you hear her without a microphone, her voice has little volume. People who have greater technical mastery and are used to projecting their voice will keep the microphone distant. And depending on the range they are in, the attack on a specific note, you might have noticed singers even move the microphone farther away. It's already distant, and they pull it back even more due to the volume to avoid blowing out the microphone. But she usually, in other situations as well, in other performances, she always keeps the microphone closer. The other girls do the same.
Maybe it's the fact that every time I fall, I lose it all. But you've got me from the head to my feet. I'm ready.
Very well. Here, she made a very beautiful transition.
To dive into you. I'm ready to dive into you. Maybe it's
And that's beautiful about her. When she goes higher, almost into falsetto, she has this range, showing a more natural control that still needs improvement. She doesn't fully have it yet, but naturally, she already has that ability. Nice.
I'm not full, I lose it all. But you've got me from the head to my feet. I'm ready to die.
Just like I said in the Chaewon video, the company is negligent. It's that simple. We all know about the complications related to the group NewJeans, but this is a HYBE issue. Unfortunately, they don't provide the proper vocal training for their members. Again, I hope this changes, because we have enormous potential with this girl. The others too. The youngest member of NewJeans. She sometimes plays around. I've seen some videos on social media of her playing with her voice, humming random things during shows. and her voice is impressive. I still need to find some covers, but I really like it. Danielle's voice, too, has a lot of potential. Technically, she's a bit more advanced than Hanni, but the whole group needs work. Now, I hope they find their direction, that everything falls into place, that they fix this company mess. They'll follow their own path, and I hope they can now work calmly, especially in this area. Maybe focus a little more, or at least not overlook their stage performance, their dance performance, but add improvements too. Their vocal performance, because it's necessary. There is so much potential. They already take the risk of doing these covers, which is wonderful, but they could incorporate this into their shows, like XG does, and MIXX does, Purple Kiss does. The girls from Baby Monster too. Though I don't know if they do it on stage, but they've been doing lots of covers. And that's what we want. We want to see the artists showing their best, not just as dolls who dance and lip sync, but as great singers as well. Right? So that's what I wanted to share about Hanni today. I wanted to bring this up as someone who likes NewJeans. I really like Hanni's tone, and I hope that with this change, this new phase for them, they achieve the proper technical preparation. If you like this video, leave your comment below, your like, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and I'll see you next time.